I just got pulled over by the police, looked through my bag for weapons, and they tried to get money out of us. Doors locked and windows up, right, Sean?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
We've seen a lot of crazy drivers here, Sean. You're saying a lot of them are drunk?
Yeah, they be drinking a lot of babankus, man. Rum or moonshine.
If we're leaving the city, we have to go through these dangerous places, right?
Oh, yes.
This is where the gangs have their clashes sometimes, like
Yeah,
right on this
exactly.
intersection. Big trucks on these tight little roads coming around on the wrong side of the road, coming directly for us. You could only see his eyes. He had a red like t-shirt over his face, and then he looked at me in the eyes when you were talking to the other guys, and he said, "Go now. If you don't go right now, I'm gonna stab your tires." Somebody would spend their entire salary per day on just this one meal.
Yeah.
And then how do they survive? This is absolute chaos. Cars are getting stuck. There's flooding everywhere. Big food truck blocking the road with flat tires. Police came, stole all the petrol and money from people. And then sold
And then
it.
that's the main reason why they blocked this road.
Nou bloke? Ou nou bloke a yel ba ve desen nan en peyi ya. E yo kap sisi kop peyi ya.
Gasoline trucks over there blocking the road as well. Taken the car, hijacked the car, kicked them out. You know, they all had knives and machetes and things. It was extremely hostile environment, so intense. Haiti, the poorest country in all of the Americas, a country that has faced constant struggle from earthquakes,
7.3 magnitude earthquake, 220,000 people killed,
to gang wars.
Gang war rages on in the capital city of Port-au-Prince. Kidnappings and killings getting even worse throughout the country.
Armed violence has reached unimaginable and intolerable levels.
Countless kidnappings.
The country's most powerful gangs is believed to be behind the kidnapping of 17 missionaries.
This has become daily life. Tires burning on city streets, protesters furious at the government's inability to confront kidnappers.
Corruption.
Démocratie, coup d'état, moi pas besoin. Démocratie, kidnapping, non pas besoin.
And untold poverty.
These are amongst the poorest people in the world.
With an average salary of less than $3.50 a day. The situation has become so desperate that there is currently a mass exodus from the country.
200 migrants stopped at sea.
Deep in the jungle in Panama, parents clinging to their children, bracing for the hundreds of miles ahead.
More than a dozen Haitian migrants are dead after the boat they were on capsized.
Millions of people fleeing, risking their lives for the chance of a better one. So what is this notoriously dangerous country like on the ground? Well, I guess we'll just have to jump on a plane if we want the answer to that one.
Gunshots and terror echoing in the streets of Haiti.
What is this place?
This is actually a war zone.
Guys with guns everywhere. These are some of the roughest streets I've ever seen.
And they said they're gonna arrest you.
Well, I guess I'm going to a Haitian prison right now.
Jamais, jamais.
This country is so extreme.
On the assassination of President Joe
The furthest I've ever been pushed on any of my trips. So basically now we have to just get out of here because we don't want to be caught in crossfire. The bus will protect from stray bullets, is that right?
Yeah.
No, it's not free at all. We saw a kidnapping, so we have to wait behind this wall until the shooting stops.
Killed by the gun, will die by the gun.
Welcome back to Port-au-Prince here in Haiti, capital city. So far on this trip, barely leaving the airport upon arrival, had to bribe police to be even allowed to come into the city, witness kidnapping. I've hidden behind walls because of bullets. And in the last video, I almost got arrested and we had the military pointing guns at us and searched us for weapons. But luckily the man I'm with, Sean, is so far, he's really looking after me and I've stayed out of harm's way, but you know, the people of Haiti are suffering very, very greatly. Today, we're driving right up the north to the second biggest city called Cap-Haïtien. I've heard it's a lot different up there. I'm interested to see what it's like, but we do have to take a certain route to avoid gang members who occupy a certain territory, so we're not gonna be taking that road for obvious reasons. We're gonna be going up through the mountains. They're gonna be along some dirt tracks. It'll be interesting to see some of the scenery, but of course, in this country, you've always got to keep your wits about you. No words for this place. I'm speechless. We're just driving down and there's rubbish all over the streets because it was raining last night and it's just completely washed everything down. And it's kind of like the further you go up the hill, the nicer the neighborhoods and things, right? And then the further down you go, the worse and worse it gets. So ultimately all the rubbish goes further into the worst parts of the city, and so it just feeds into the problems that these people have. So Sean, we just drove past that big armored vehicle and we're actually just passing the entrance to Cirque du Soleil, that big slum we went to a few videos ago. You say that that armored vehicle is here because this is where the gangs have their clashes sometimes, like on this intersection?
Exactly where the fight will start between those two rival gangs, G9 and GPIP, and that's where the show of fighting will usually happen. So that's why you saw that armored vehicle is standing right there.
If you want to go anywhere in this city, you're going to be going through some bad places. If we're leaving the city, we have to go through these dangerous places, right?
Oh yes. It's worse toward the south than the north. Right now we're going toward the north.
Okay, so this is the safest place.
It's the safest, yes.
Right, but in the south it's even worse than
It's even worse. You can't even cross it with a private vehicle. What they're doing, actually, those gang in the south, every public transportation that is going through that area, the passengers have to pay a little bit more so that the driver of those cars have to pay those gang members to go through. The best thing is fly. Because with those gangs, they are pretty much everywhere in the city, in the metropolitan area. And now since the police is chasing many of them, they are also in some part in the countryside.
So you always have to be hiding.
Yes.
What was it you were saying, Sean, about there's certain routes up to the city? We're going Cap Haitian, which are gang occupied, so we have to take a different route so that they don't like...
Oh yeah, toward the north, if you're going to Cap Haitian toward the north, they have a gang group in those areas. Most Haitians are trying to prevent on going in those areas so that they don't get kidnapped or even get killed by this group of gangs. So it's better to go to a central Plata area.
So the coastal road is kind of off limits then, and you have to go inland through the mountains.
Yes.
You were saying if you were to take the coastal road, which is quite beautiful, right?
Oh yes, it is, yeah.
So if you wanted to take that beautiful route, then there's a high likelihood of kidnapping or murder?
Of course, because those gangs occupying this area in La Tibonite, it's the main road going to Cap. So they occupy those areas. So it's quite dangerous, and we don't want to take a risk going in that area, and anything could happen.
You know, leaving the city, we saw a couple of military guys with, you know, heavy weaponry. We've seen lots of cops with weapons and things. Lots of burnt out cars. We went through another like kind of gang disputed territory. There were like burnt out cars lining the side of the road and things. And all the petrol stations we went past have been closed, and they're just selling fuel on the side because of the black market situation here. So like no petrol stations have been open. But we just came across one here, and there's a huge line. You can see behind me, these guys are all waiting for fuel. We're probably an hour or so out of Port-au-Prince now. And there's just a huge line to the petrol station like you've seen in other videos I've made here in Haiti, and just, you know, people fighting for petrol. We saw a topless lady before with her hands tied behind her back being grabbed by a bunch of people. I don't know if she committed a crime, but she was just naked above the waist. It is a very beautiful country, but you keep getting reminded that this place is not stable at all. Honestly speaking, it has been a huge relief to get out of Port-au-Prince. I wasn't expecting it, but as soon as we left and came out into the country, like the chest just drops after those days that I've had in Port-au-Prince. You know, peaking in adrenaline every day, all day. It's been nice to get out in the countryside, and even Sean says he feels the same, and he lives in Port-au-Prince. He says when he comes out into the countryside, it's just a lot more calm. So I'm gonna keep driving through this beautiful country.
This is total corruption, look at that.
So we've just pulled up at this little town, and
look at that. All those guys here, but the gas station have no gas.
This is all petrol here.
This is all petrol. Combien de gallons?
Like being on camera.
Sous machine non va tirer.
All these trucks here are lining for fuel, right?
Yes.
This is all for petrol, all these guys.
Yeah, look at that. How long is that?
We pulled up to that town and there's this roundabout and there's guys all around the roundabout just with gallons and gallons of petrol in containers. And then behind the roundabout there's a petrol station. It's just empty. It's beyond belief, you know? And so I'm guessing the fuel is, the further you get from Port-au-Prince, the more expensive it gets.
Yep.
Yeah?
Exactly, yeah.
Right. So we just stopped on the side of the road at this beautiful lake. It's called Pilig Lake, I believe. Absolutely stunning. It's a hydroelectric lake, so there's a dam down there somewhere. Fishermen out here in their boats. This is kind of the state of the roads that we're currently seeing. Apparently it gets worse than this, and this is one of the main roads from the capital to the second biggest city. It's like half paved, half not. Lots of people transporting people and then big mining trucks as well, because there's lots of mining in this area. A lot of the mountains have actually been completely decimated just from mining. Quite the scene, really. An absolute stunning country, of course. Very beautiful. So let's continue on this long drive here. Eggs, banana, spaghetti, tomato sauce, avocado, and tomato.
Yeah.
And onions.
And she's gonna put some meat in it as well.
Okay.
Ah.
Is this quite typical Haitian food?
Oh yes.
Yeah?
This is actually our breakfast.
Chicken.
That's chicken.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
It's good for you.
Mm-hmm. And that's a Fanta. I would be filled.
And how much does it cost for that massive plate?
300 goods.
Okay. Somebody would spend their entire salary per day on just this one meal.
Yeah.
And then how do they survive?
They have just one meal, and then later on, their family members or someone will help them to get something to eat. Maybe a piece of bread or something with peanut butter and so on. And some people would just live within just one meal per day.
Even the people in Haiti that can afford this are still lucky compared
Not
to
everyone can afford this.
There's some
you know?
people like we went to in the slums.
They can't even buy this.
Can we talk a little bit about how they eat dirt in Cité du Soleil in the slum there?
Oh yeah, because of the food crisis. A lot of people took the dirt, then they add a little bit of cube of Maggi in it, and also
vegetables
butter.
Like stock, right?
Yeah,
Maggi.
and water, salt and butter, and then they put it dry and they eat it.
So they're literally eating mud.
Mud, yes. They have to face the gang, they have to face insecurity, and so on. Not only food problems, but the problem is even more larger than what you could expect.
And have you eaten that dirt cake before?
I had twice in my life.
What's it taste like?
I have a little salt in it, and it tastes like I could taste the salt, I could taste the butter in it. But actually it doesn't really fill you, you know? You don't feel content. No, nothing in it. Actually, it can get you sick. It will get you sick, certainly.
So we just pulled over on the side of the road and we noticed that one of the petrol tanks, like one of the gallons in the back that we had spilt into the back of the car. So yeah, we're gonna put the rest of it in the car, but it's crazy. There's speed bumps that come out of nowhere, massive speed bumps, completely homemade out of a bag of concrete that you would get from the hardware store. You just come around corners and they've just suddenly been built. That's what caused the petrol to spill. We've seen huge trucks coming around corners going so fast, like massive. They look like they're carrying heavy freight. Big trucks on these tight little roads coming around on the wrong side of the road, coming directly for us. It was a really close call before. It was pretty scary, but you know, that's Haiti. So you were driving around all yesterday afternoon looking for petrol on the streets and stuff?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And then I filled the car, and that's the rest that I had left. I saw that spilling, so I had to put it back in so I don't lose it. What they say in Haiti, petrol is cocaine. So expensive, huh?
Right.
You can't afford to lose any. Comment est? Non, femme, excusez, ça gueule là.
What's happening? Protest. The road's blocked.
Yeah, the road is blocked because of the food product and petrol that are rising. That's crazy.
I have no idea what's happening, but we just pulled up and there's commotion everywhere, and it's next to this petrol station. There's a big food truck blocking the road with flat tires. People shouting at me. Every time they see me, like with a camera in hand, they start shouting. This country is so extreme. The truck ahead is just blocked, and there's flat tires. There's people standing blocking the road on both sides. Motorbikes are driving into the grass and going around, but obviously cars can't go through. I mean, this country is just constantly full of conflict and extreme events.
The police came and took all the gas that they had in gallons. And he also took some money from them as well. And before he even reached to the police station with all the gas, he sold it himself. They watch him selling all the gas that he took from them, he seized from them.
The police came, stole all the petrol and money from people.
And
then sold it.
That's the main reason why they blocked this road.
What are they hoping to achieve by blocking the road?
It would be good to have an interview with them and find out.
Okay, should we go?
Yeah.
Wow. It's smashed glass on the ground.
And then you see, they bust.
Whose truck is it?
No, it's just a truck that is passing by. And they stopped the truck.
And then there's a gasoline trucks over there blocking the road.
Yeah, they blocked it. As you can see, they blocked it.
Nous bloqué? Oh, nous bloqué, il y a le barbe descendant dans le pays. Et au cap sisi pour pays.
Yo, yes. Careful.
Oui.
They said they had to block the whole roads to confrontation because the Prime Minister doesn't want to hear them. And he doesn't hear anything from them. It's just all he's doing is just shut his mouth up. He's not doing anything. So they decided to block the whole road. As you can see, right there, they took all the buses and they blocked the road. And all the way down there as well. It's totally blocked. How do we see?
So last clip that you saw, things started to get a bit heated. They really didn't like me being there. And then, that was so intense. There's like guys pulling out knives of their pocket and stuff.
Yeah, machete and
there
everything.
was big machetes, there was guys with knives. They followed us over like a big group of them, and then they were about to like stab the tires. That was so intense, man. What is going on right now?
Oh, that was crazy. They almost bust my tires.
It was like literally like twice almost.
And I had to show them that I work for the media, and it's like, still, okay, we're not gonna bust it back, turn around and leave. We don't want the media here.
I understand their frustration because they're in such a terrible position.
I know.
But we're literally driving from the capital to the second biggest city, and then we just see this complete roadblock of anarchy and chaos, and then things get really hostile. One guy yelled at me, "Yankee, go, Yankee, go. And then they were saying blonde, go, like blonde means white guy,
Yeah,
right?
just leave.
If they'd let our tires down, we'd be stuck here.
Oh yeah.
In the middle of nowhere around a very hostile protest, you know? What's going on in Haiti, man? Beyond anything I've ever seen. It's every single day I'm seeing.
I'm gonna keep repeating the same word. Haiti is going down the pit. This is completely hell. I mean, there's this main road, there is not even one police officer to secure the area. It's like they let the people are on their own. Actually, that's what I'm seeing. No authorities at all. Haiti is a failed state. That's how I can describe it. My own country.
Were they saying that they were robbed by the police?
Yes, one of them told me that the chief of police in that area in Saint Raphael came and took their gallons of gas that they're selling by the streets, and he took it all. Before he could reach to the police station, he sold it all. Not only that, he also steal their money.
Their money, like cash?
Cash.
Some of those trucks would have been driving along the road and then people have stopped them, smashed the windows and then taken the cars and parked them across the road. Is that right?
Oh yes.
Looks like they're about to do the same to this car that we're in right now.
Oh yes, they were about to bust our tires.
This guy fully masked up. You could only see his eyes. He had a red t-shirt over his face. And then he looked at me in the eyes when you were talking to the other guys and he said, go now. If you don't go right now, I'm gonna stab your tires.
I understand the frustration, really. I do understand them. I understand really where they're coming from. They're hungry. They are going through all kind of difficulties. I'm glad we got out.
Yeah, man, that was something.
It's always good to make friends everywhere you go right away. Come with good intention, you'll get out.
Just.
Yeah.
By this much.
This tiny much.
And so this is the only road now?
Yes.
So there's no way of us getting to Carpathian?
No, there is no way. That's the only road. The other road
is gangs.
It's gangs.
These are the choices that you have in this country to travel domestically in your own country.
Oh yeah.
You either have to choose between getting caught up with gangs, potentially getting kidnapped or murdered, or getting caught up in a protest where people come and stab your tires with knives. Those are your two choices.
That's our life, man.
That's what's happened to Haiti.
That's what happened. That's what is happening. This country have no authorities.
So back to Port-au-Prince now then, I guess. That's the plan?
Oh, yes.
Right.
Oh my God. Hello, c'est moi Christophe. I had to cancel it.
It's a real shame because that's a beautiful part of the country, right? That's where a lot of the tourists go. Tourists go to Port-au-Prince anymore, but some still go to Carpathian because it's reasonably stable in relativity to the country, right? Yeah. But now we can't go and show the good part because people are fed up with what's going on.
See, as I was telling you, the only way to get out of Port-au-Prince is by flying. You won't have no protest in the air. So you never know when you're gonna come across a protest, and you never know when you're gonna come across gang members. Those are unpredictable. So you never know when those kind of things gonna happen. I would advise people who comes to Haiti, fly to Cap, fly to Jacmel if you need to go to those areas, because it's uncertain what you might come across while driving around. And same. It hurt me, man.
Just come down the road a bit more and there's a petrol station that's giving petrol. Huge lines here.
Look at how he's squeezing.
So this is two cars wide here. They're trying to push in.
2 lines.
So we've just pulled over at another empty petrol station behind me, and that was absolutely insane. That was so extreme. You know, I really have to say thanks to Sean, because it got really sketchy at some points, and you know, I understand completely the frustration that these people of this country have to go through every day, you know, and Sean just handled that so well. We went in, there was guys with masks on, they came up to us and they were shouting at us and aggressive and abrasive. Sean followed these people, and I was thinking, you know, maybe not the best idea to follow these people, to try and reason with them, but he knows his way around these situations so well. Unbelievable, really, because if he hadn't followed those people and he calls them out and he's saying, you know, what's the problem here? Like, why are you so hostile towards us? Sean has a press permit and he's saying, you know, you should talk to us. And he's like, yeah, sorry, I didn't know. And he's like, yeah, well, talk to us next time. You know, we're all together and things. And he went around befriending a large group of people, and it's amazing to see him work because he was bringing these people together, and ultimately that led to us being able to get out of that situation. We would still be there right now if Sean hadn't done that, because the guy that came over and tried to stab our tires was grabbed by the other guy, said, no, don't do it, you know, they're all good. So Sean had befriended people who had broken into people's vans full of passengers and big trucks, taken the car, hijacked the car, kicked them out. You know, they all had knives and machetes and things. It was extremely hostile environment, so intense. And the guy that was trying to stab the tire was grabbed by the other guys who Sean had befriended. If he hadn't done that, we would still be there with a car in that situation. Who knows what would have happened? We could have been stuck there for God knows how long. We could have stayed the night out there in the middle of nowhere with all these people, you know, who are obviously pent up, and I understand the frustration and things to be put in this position where no matter what, you know, measures they take, nothing works. The insane thing is the hotel I called up in Port-au-Prince, I said, I'm coming back. I want to make another reservation because I can't stay in captation because there's been a huge roadblock. People with masks on stabbing tires, hijacking cars and blocking the roads. And they were just like, okay, don't worry, we've made you another reservation. Didn't even like sound like they bat an eyelid, you know, it's just so normal here. It just happens all the time, every day. Car hijackings to cause protests. They light tires on fire and things in the middle of the street. Gangs kidnap people every day. There's many kidnappings. You lose track of it. When your country's in this state, you understand why people go to such extreme lengths to try and make a point to the government, but it doesn't seem to be working. I mean, Sean was telling me that the leaders of this government aren't even addressing the people anymore. It's just kind of been left to sort itself out. This place is very scary. It's completely rotten from the inside out. I would say that would be an objective view, not really subjective. We've got to make our way back to Port-au-Prince now. We were over halfway. Now we've got to drive back another, 4 or so hours. Let's hope that nothing else happens in this place.
This is it. Okay, stay here, my friend. I'm gonna eat you.
How much for all the bananas?
This?
Yeah.
Quite cheap compared to Port-au-Prince.
Right.
That was 250 goods.
Okay.
That's very cheap, you know?
C'est bon.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I can eat 10 of it.
Especially after a riot.
Oh yeah.
So we've seen a lot of crazy drivers here, Sean. You're saying a lot of them are drunk?
Yeah, they be drinking a lot of babankus, man. Rum or moonshine. I know for sure because, I took buses from Capahation to here.
And the drivers are just getting smashed?
Oh yeah, they don't get into accident that easy because they're used to the road, but they drive crazy. They be drunk and drive.
Like this.
Look at that. Look at how many passengers they had behind him. Yes, he's driving like a maniac.
So we're just arriving back into the outskirts of Port-au-Prince, which means doors locked and windows up, right, Sean?
Oh yeah, exactly.
You won't believe it, but we just got pulled over by the police, and they looked through my bag for weapons, and they tried to get money out of us, right?
Yeah. See what happened? I asked him, why are you going into our stuff? We were for the media. He was like, oh, don't you hear? Even the priests are importing guns in Haiti. We just arrested a priest. So what's the difference between you and a priest?
A priest?
A priest, yeah, they arrested a priest just recently.
Bringing weapons?
Yeah, he brought weapons into the country. I said, I don't even have guns, not even a gun permit or nothing. I don't deal with guns. He said, well, that's our job we're doing. I said, I understand. Okay, do your thing. They took my paper.
And they just held on to it and hoped that you'd give them money. And
exactly.
And you didn't, and then you kind of talked your way out of it again. Sean, what happens if you call the police or something? If there's an emergency, say somebody's breaking into your house, do the police come, or what do they say on the phone?
What I've heard from many people who got into troubles, and that's happened to many of us as Haitians, you call the police very often, they don't have gas. Well, we run out of gas, or we don't have enough stuff. Perhaps they will say that their car broke down. down. So they would never show up. If they respond and said that we will come shortly, it will take them probably a good 5 hours, or you probably see them the next day. You will have to defend your own self in the way that you can. Let's say someone having some problem in Cité Soleil. You can't call the police because they don't even have a police station in there. Yeah. They do. 2 police stations, but it was seized by the gang members. Let's say you have a problem in there, you can't relay on the police. No, there's no way.
So what you're saying is many parts of Haiti are completely lawless?
Yes, completely. We are in a failed state, my friend.
These are the streets of Port-au-Prince?
Yes. We are right now at Croix Bouquet area. Oh my Lord, oh my Lord.
This is absolute chaos. Cars are getting stuck. Motorbikers are trying to fit past us. There's flooding everywhere. We're just at a complete standstill in this crazy traffic.
Oh my God. What's going on here? See, this is hell. I was telling you. Straight hell.
It's like at
unbelievable.
Every turn something goes wrong, no matter what you're doing.
If anyone's having, you know, it's you feel that it's not too good in your country, and you are, you know, they could send you here, and then you will learn what hell is all about. Going through the river in the middle of the wood.
It's proving quite the challenge for me to articulate with any sort of accuracy at the moment. Just come back to the hotel. The streets seemed a bit quiet around this area than they normally are, and that's because today, while we tried to leave Port-au-Prince, right on the street outside the hotel, there's burn marks in the ground because today there was a protest here. Tires were lit on fire. People have kind of dispersed from this area because it was quite dangerous here. We drove hours across the mountains. We were almost there 1 to 2 hours away. Our car was the only car that wasn't sabotaged. They were going around stabbing every car that pulled up to that protest. All the tires, they were just stabbing. We heard them stabbing tires with knives. We had to come back past Cité du Soleil, which is the most dangerous neighborhood in the world. That's the place we went to a few videos ago. And so we come through there and just utter chaos. You don't want to be hanging around in this neighborhood, you know? As Sean calls it, the woods, these parts of the city. He says you want to get out of the woods. And it's only in this area where my hotel in the city, which resembles some kind of stability, you know, even though today there was a fire and protest on the streets and people were fleeing because it was dangerous. I don't know what to say about this country. You know, we left, we went out into the countryside. It felt a lot more calm and tranquil and things. And, you know, people said to us, you know, that lady that was making the food for Sean this morning said, oh yeah, it's all good around here. And yeah, sure, but things can just happen in a split second. You never know what's going to happen in this country. You're constantly treading on eggshells. We were coming back through one of these neighborhoods. You know, like when people go around at traffic lights and they wash your window and then try to get some change. One guy came from the back and just threw a rag on the driver's side on Sean's window. Sean gets a huge fright. We both thought it was a gun at the window. I mean, this is how on edge this place is. Not just for me, for Sean, he lives here and he's hardcore, right? He has contacts in all these places. He goes right into the belly of the beast professionally as a job, and it's still, you know, quite on edge. His eyes are always running, you know, laps. He's surveying the area. This country is unlike anything I've experienced. The people they're suffering to the degree where they'll go out and sabotage their own citizens' belongings, their fellow citizens, to push them over the edge to that point where they're willing to, you know, mask up with t-shirts as makeshift balaclavas and block roads and smash windows, go up to random people and stab. You know, I mean, hell of a day. Then we got pulled over by cops on the way back. He searched me completely. He looked through my bags. He says, you got weapons. Like, we can't trust anybody. And then ultimately he was just trying to get money out of us. Sean, he really challenges people, and sometimes I feel maybe it's not a good thing to challenge people, but it's a dog-eat-dog world out here, and he knows, you know, how to handle himself far greater than I do in this environment. What he's doing seems to be working, and he goes right up to people and he fairly shares what his opinion is and his feelings, and he knows how to talk to people, and somehow that has gotten us out of countless sticky situations, and I'm meaning extremely sticky situations. Doesn't bear thinking about, really. Haiti is the real deal and nothing to really mess around with. Extremely dangerous, extremely dangerous. More dangerous than any other place that I've been from what I've seen. I'll finish the video there, and I'll see you. We're gonna go and try and find something in this city. Who knows what it might be. We might try and go a bit out of the city, but who knows what will happen. I mean, this place is mental. So join me in the next video, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
If anyone's having, you know, it's you feel that it's not too good in your country, and you are, you know, they could send you here, and then you will learn what hell is all about. This is Haiti.
Insane. I just want to take a second and say thank you to Incogni for sponsoring this video. You may or may not be aware of this, but thousands of companies are collecting and selling your personal data online. So what Incogni does is it gathers your personal information from data brokers and wipes your personal and private information from their databases. The way that companies can collect this information is through things like online shopping. Many of the apps that we use on our phones when we accept terms and conditions, we're basically giving free rein to our personal data. I know for me personally, when I'm browsing the internet and then sometime later I receive an email or see an ad that's directly targeted at exactly what I've been looking at, it's a bit unsettling. Incogni is very easy to use. You just create an account, tell them you want your data removed from these brokers, and then on your behalf, Incogni will contact these data brokers and request your information to be removed from their databases. Many companies will try to avoid complying with data removal requests by making you jump through hoops, but Incogni will handle this for you and keep you updated with the progress every step of the way, saving you thousands of hours. Incogni has offered the first 100 people to use the code INDIGODEAL in the link below and get 20% off Incogni. So if you would like Incogni to help you take back your internet privacy today, use that link below, and thank you very much to Incogni for sponsoring this video.